Good afternoon and welcome back. This is US Home Talk. We are live every Wednesday at noon and on demand at ushometalk.com or wherever you guys find your podcast. We are your host, Marcus Walgrave, with the South Dakota Home Team powered by Hague Realtors, Jason Walgrave with Walgrave Real Estate Group at Remax Advantage Plus. And we also have Evan Little, our amazing producer, knocking this out for us, making sure that we are killing it here today. We are taking all of your guys' questions during the show, anything and everything real estate. Our call-in number is 612-234-7585. Again, 612-234-7585. Or you can leave us a message in the comments section on Facebook, and we will talk about those as well. Good afternoon, gentlemen. How we doing today?
Doing fantastic. Happy to be here.
Yes, everybody survived the Halloween last night. Any trick-or-treating for you two?
Oh, good grief. The mass amount of candy that my children brought home is, I'm talking collectively between the three of them, 2/3 of a garbage sack full.
Whoa.
It is,
they did some work.
They what are those? How many gallons are those regular garbage cans? 13 gallon?
That sounds about right. Yep.
I'm thinking a solid 9 gallons of candy. It is.
How many gallons did they eat last night?
They didn't eat too much last night, so that was good. It was funny though because we get home and they dump it all out on the floor, and then we put Everly, who is almost 10 months, put her right in the middle of the big candy pile, and she's just swimming in it and picking stuff up, and she was having a blast. She didn't, all these colorful little things she got to handle. It was pretty cool. A lot of kids out. We had a ton of kids come to our house, and so it was a lot of fun. And the weather we didn't have any wind, so the weather was decent. We had a lot of fun, so it was good.
Evan, did you get out last night? I'll take that as a negative. Jason, did you dress up?
No, I didn't. No? Sorry, I clicked the wrong button. Yeah, no, I hid in the basement with my dog.
You didn't hand out candy?
Off, don't.
No, absolutely not.
Did you get TP'd?
No. My dog is extremely stranger reactive, so we lock ourselves away where he's not going to get tortured by all the kids.
Yeah, fair enough. Back in the day, if you had your lights off on Halloween and you weren't giving out treats, it was game to get tricked, right? I think that's how it works.
That's still the rule out there.
Still the rule. Did you dress up, Jason?
I did not last night, but we did go to our friend Del Terzo's Halloween party on Saturday, and I dressed up. I was a pickleball racket. So it was a last-minute Walmart purchase, $19. It was either between all they had left was that and a Bud Light bottle, and so I decided against the Bud Light bottle for a number of reasons, but went with a pickleball paddle.
Pickleball. So you were the pickleball paddle.
I was the paddle.
Did you have a pickleball as your date?
No, Liz was a werewolf, and then Everly was Little Red Riding Hood. So it was pretty clever.
That is good.
You guys had some great costumes. I saw your photos on Facebook. You guys did great. You had quite.
We survived Halloween. We got a little festive and participated, and it's always interesting. We had a little wind by the time we started, and it was cold. It was cold that first, maybe 10-15 minutes, and then the wind died down, and then you could definitely feel just being active. You were warming up. So we had a chance to get out and do some trick or treating. And one thing I found kind of interesting, when I think about our Halloween trick or treating and what we got for candy, right? Like the type of candy, the size of candy seems to have increased significantly over the years.
Yes.
Our girls had just these little pumpkin candy bags, and I mean they can't hold more than a quart.
Right.
I think probably at most. So, it was like you get to like 6 houses and because the candy bars are so big and everybody takes that same approach of like, oh, just take a couple, just take a handful. It doesn't take long before that little quart bag's full. And then you run around trying to pick the stuff out because then they're crying about how some things dropped and you got to get the things for them. And, I got witches' hats and witches' brooms. I'm wearing one by the end of it and sweating and got the dog dressed up as a shark. And I should have had the Jaws music going, while we were walking, but it was a good time. It was a good time.
Yeah. Theodore was probably the most clever because he carried one of those little plastic pumpkins. But then he had me carry a backpack. And so he would get that filled up and then he would dump almost all of it out in the backpack. So it always looked like he only had a little bit of candy.
Like,
and
please give me more.
Well, he didn't have to say anything. They just kind of look in there and they'd be like, oh, you need more than that. And they'd put in a whole handful in. So it was fun. It was fun.
When you do some trick-or-treating, but you still want people to stop by and I think the last 3 years kind of created a new trend or tradition where you just leave a big bowl of candy out, or maybe several bowls. And even last night, I mean, it was, we're putting the kids to bed 7:30 around there, and obviously dark, sunsets around near us by 6:20, and we're like, hey, let's just fill the bowls up to the max. Before we kind of, in a sense, kind of turn lights. We have some black lights in the front, some Halloween decor. And this morning, it was all gone, but one little Smartie package of Smartie. That was the last thing. So the kids came. I mean, they must have come until, or it was just like that one kid who's like, okay, lights are off. They don't have, this type of, nobody's watching me. I'm just going to take the whole band, So there's some strategy out there where you can really, collect some candy. So
there were a lot of kids out, more kids out and more homes participating in giving out candy than for sure the last 4 years. I mean, there was, it was fun to see a lot of really cool costumes and a lot of kids having some fun. So it was neat.
Yep, kids and parents. I know I had fun,
yep.
Even though it was a little craziness happening from time to time. It was still good. Today we're going to talk about a interesting topic, a top of mind topic for this time of year: data privacy, best practices. Now, Jason, you and I are both accredited buyer representative. We have our designation for that. Something, how a realtor gets that, they have to hit some milestones. They have to have a certain number of transactions completed. They have to complete a higher level of education. And then one of the big perks to it is that, ABR, they go ahead and they send out some really good information, on the monthly basis, and just to kind of keep us in the loop of what's going on. And anybody who's been involved in real estate in the last 3 years have noticed a significant increase of the use of technology, right? I mean, there's been generations in real estate that were kind of forced into it in the last 3 years. Once they were forced into it, they realized, hey, there's a lot of beneficial things to this. We're going to go ahead and just start using this, more frequently, not just through real estate. And what that has done is it is, in a sense, it's opened the floodgates. It allows for more scammers out there, and a lot more hackers can put out some, and they're getting super creative, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, some of these emails. I mean, my PayPal account is attached to a specific email address that I have. I'd probably have, I don't know, 10 email addresses, and I have that just to try to keep things organized, and so one is for maybe online purchasing, one is for subscribing to e-newsletters, one is personal, couple, or business, something like that. So I had this email account that's set up with my PayPal account. That's what it's attached to. And this is about maybe a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago. I mean, we don't have to go that far back, like 6, 7, 8 years ago. If you got a scam email or a scam, it was so obvious. It was like, yeah, I mean, this is obviously, for anybody who's been playing on computers for a number of years, it seemed to be very, very obvious, right? But now, I mean, they're making their own PayPal accounts, seeing what type of emails PayPal is sending out, or your specific bank sends out, and they're doing a really good job of creating these accounts that look like they're coming from these specific financial institutes or whatever. So you see them now, and it's so easy. It's like, oh, hey, click this link and you can get an update on your account of our new privacy rules. And it's just like, man, it's just so easy to see something and click it. And so that's probably one of the best practices you can do is just treat any unsolicited message from an unknown sender with extreme caution. And also make sure, because they're setting up their accounts, they're putting their names in the account profile. So when an email comes to you, it says PayPal support, and you're like, oh yeah, okay, I checked who the sender is, but you got to take it to the next step. You got to see like what is the email address that this sender is sending it from. If it is PayPal support, it's going to be at PayPal or something like that, at paypal.com. But these are coming from like, John 4232 abz at yahoo.com. It's like, okay, well, PayPal didn't send you that. You got to be careful on what you're looking at, what you're receiving. The email scamming messages have definitely taken it to the next level. They're getting much better at it. They're they're disguising them very well, and you just got to be super careful.
Yeah, they're definitely getting more creative and more advanced in how they're trying to scam you, right? And so I had one about a month ago, and it came from somebody that, well, it appeared to have come from somebody that I knew really well, and this one even went so far to, at the top where it says the person's name and then their email. Well, it was their name and it was their email. But then
Ooh.
when you hit reply, it populates in a different email. And so I saw it and I was pretty certain that it was a scam, and I thought, well, that's pretty creative. And so I wanted to just confirm it by hitting reply, and then it pops up the email that it really is. But I'm ultra careful on emails. I will err on the side of I'm just going to delete it, and if it's really that important, someone will call me, which happened that a couple weeks ago. I got two or three emails, pretty close within an hour, and I just deleted them, delete. And then, later that afternoon, that next morning, someone called and said, hey, I sent you these emails. You got to, DocuSign this thing. And I'm like, yep, I got those. Deleted all three of them. Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah, right.
But that's a lot easier to manage than if you get hacked or you get scammed or they take over your computer or your information. I've never been a victim of identity theft. I have credit card numbers stolen every year, or somebody jacks my
Every
card
month
and,
it feels like at times. Holy buckets.
Buys a bunch of stuff, and so I'm familiar with that. But I have clients that have been victims of identity theft, and it is a crippling event, and it's something that can take so long, months, sometimes years to fix, and it can be just devastating and obviously super, super stressful. So you just got to be aware of it. If it feels funny, it probably is, right?
Yeah, right.
And so it's better just or you contact the person, right? I mean, it feels like we've moved into this world where nobody wants to pick up the phone anymore. But if you get something and you're like, it doesn't really seem right, just give the person a call. Hey, did you send me this email? Probably they didn't. Okay, I didn't think so. And you delete it, right? But I get email scams at least daily, probably 2 or 3 times a day. And I get a lot from title companies. Click here for your settlement statement, or, and it's, so they're definitely, they find the person, they find out the industry that they're in, and then they're, if they're really good at what they do, if they're really a good scammer, they're going to tie it in where, okay, well, an agent gets an email from a title company about the closing statement. Oh, I'm a realtor, so obviously that's legit. Let's click on it. Well, guess what? They just jacked your whole computer. So, err on the side of caution. If you think it might be real, then call the person that it's supposedly coming from. If you don't think it's real, just delete it. Just delete it and move on. And if it's really that important, then they'll reach out again. So
never click an attachment or link. I think that's
link.
something important to no attachments, no links from unknown senders. Like I said, don't hesitate to give them a call. If you don't know them, that's another nice thing. It is a lot easier to do a quick Google search of a company, supposedly that's here to help you, that you're not familiar with. We got $200 a refund that we got to send you. Click this link so then we can, get it over to you. Yeah, you can do a quick Google search. That is the nice thing about it. Scammers do get called up pretty quick online, so it doesn't take too long for them to get flagged and then for them to be, in a sense, pull up on a search. So, Jason, you talked about the title company. One document that our company in Sioux Falls, South Dakota has adopted is the Don't Be Scammed document that goes with transactions. Simply just letting people know, like, hey, if you are doing a real estate transaction and you're looking to do a wire transfer, maybe you can't attend closing, you're from a different state, whatever the reason might be, and you're inquiring about wire transferring instructions, you make sure that you're contacting the right individuals. Make sure you're in direct contact with the title company. Make that phone call, right? Make that phone call. Just say, hey, I don't really feel comfortable, giving my account numbers through via email. I'm going to give you a call, and are you ready? Do you have pen and paper? I'm just going to give it to you, and you can take it over the phone, and then, shred. If you're writing it down on a note, shred it. So, those just some good practices. They're taking it to the next level. Again, like I said, we're starting to get those scams coming through direct messaging, through text messaging. How many times have you got that text message saying, hey, your Wells Fargo account has been hacked. Click this link, and so we can file the complaint. And, it's just like, okay, it's easy to get my business phone number. I have it online. It's on my personal property search site. So it's to no surprise that I can get those text messages on a daily basis saying, hey, I'm in an important meeting. I'm sure, Jason, you've got this one. Jason, I'm in an important meeting. I can't talk right now, but can you send me 4 Amazon cards, $50 a piece? Yeah. And then I'll pay you back. Just get the cards, take a picture of the back, send me the information, and I'll pay you back at tomorrow when I see you in the office. Yeah. I get those at least weekly, coming from colleagues, coming from broker owners and title companies, all sorts of stuff. So super, super careful when you're getting messages from people that you're not real certain that they're coming from them. So
yeah, we do. We talk about this on our team meetings a number of times during the year, and I've got a couple agents on my team that when they get these, they see these as an opportunity to have a little fun, and so you can imagine some of the replies that they send, and the Amazon gift cards aren't available, but this. You can just use your imagination. This weird company gift card is available, or they'll send them what most would consider maybe inappropriate photos to the hacker and say, "Is this what you're looking for?" And It is.
Hopefully it's a hacker.
Hopefully it is a hacker, right? So,
I always try to turn the table on them. I either take two approaches, right? It's like, hey, you need $200. That's awesome. Send me 500, and then I'll go get those, and then I'll just pay you cash when I do see you tomorrow at the office. It's like, then they're like, no, just send me the $200. It's like, no, you give me 500, and then we'll get this squared away real easy. I'm here to help, man. Or it's simply like, hey, I like your energy, I like your determination. You should just find an honest career, and you're probably going to do really well in life.
Right.
You just got to get away from this lane that you're in and put it somewhere where you can do good, and you're probably going to do really good things and help a lot of people out instead of scamming them out of their money. So
well, you're right, because there's a lot of effort that goes into some of these. I mean, some of them that I see, I'm impressed by the level of effort that goes into them, but we just got to be careful. Also, social media, guys. When you get instant messages, and I'm thinking of Facebook specifically. I get these at least once a week, where it's a message that says, "Oh, did you see what happened? To so and so, or is this you in the photo?" And anything to do with clicking anything, any link or anything at all, or attachment or download, just don't do it, folks. So.
Yeah, and a lot of time they're not trying to take your computer to shut it down. They just want to get on there, and they want to maybe take some general information like your contact list. Yep. They want to get all your contact list, so then they can make this burner email account and then send out a mass email to the 1,000 contacts that you have saying, "Hey, this is coming from Jason," and it's like, well, how did these people, get this email address in the first place? And it's like, well, they're more discreet. They want to sit on your computer for as long as they can. They don't want to make it obvious and pop up a message and be like, "You've been hacked." They're trying to stay under the radar and just collect information, collect data as much as they can, and then they can get real strategic with it. So be real smart. A lot of tech conferences, a lot of AI topics that are happening in the real estate industry. So we're very fortunate that we're getting some exceptional information about what we have of coming up on the horizon in our industry. One thing that's something important is the passwords, right? If you're still doing passwords, the passwords are of the past. You don't want to be using a password. The new thing, the new phrase is that it's a pass phrase, and that's where back. I'm trying to remember. I want to say that when I first made my my first email account, or when I first got on Facebook, in those very beginning years of the internet, the max characters that you could have in a password was set at like 8. That was like the max you could have was 8. Now it's like minimum 12 characters, up to 50. And it's like that's where you can start doing these pass phrases, like "I love soccer on Saturdays." It's like, well, that's gonna be a pretty hard pass phrase for anybody to figure out. I mean, that's so if you do have passwords out there, you can kind of upgrade those passwords and turn them into pass phrases, and that's definitely going to help. That's definitely going to help you guys keep your accounts safe and highly reduce the probability that somebody's going to be able to solve your key to get in. So. Right. Pass phrases, that's another good one. Keep credentials secret. Maybe this is a generational thing. I'm not going to call anybody out. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. I don't know. But you don't want to write your passwords down on a piece of paper that's sitting right next to your desk.
A sticky note right on the monitor.
right on the monitor. You're not the only one who's probably going to be in your office. Whether you accidentally left the door unlocked, people, if you're just setting it out, it's like $100 bill sitting on the sidewalk. Mm-hmm. If you just set $100 bill on the sidewalk on a busy street, it's probably going to get picked up and put in their pocket. Same concept applies to writing your passwords and all your bank accounts and your social security and your birthday on a sticky note and in a sense framing it right there for everybody to see. So be a little bit more strategic on keeping your credentials secret and safeguard your login information. Is definitely going to be very, very helpful for you guys out there. Another best practice is refrain from using public unsecured Wi-Fi. Again, back in the day, when anybody who was offering free Wi-Fi, it was like, nice, free Wi-Fi. That's a great deal. I mean, I can't wait to go to the coffee shop to sit down and get free internet and hammer out some homework, whatever might be a project. But when it is free Wi-Fi, it's very easy for people to see who's all on that. It doesn't take a lot of tech. You don't have to be very tech savvy to be able to see what computers and phones are connected to this, and then they can start trying to get into that. So be very creative, be smart about using public Wi-Fi. You can do a quick Google search on something like that, best practices for that. I think one thing you can do is go in like an incognito mode when you are searching. So in a sense, it's not obvious, who you are and what you're looking up and easy to find. So, that's kind of a good one too. Be careful about those free public. Nothing's free in this world, right, Jason?
Nope.
No. Nope. It kind of goes back to the title companies. A vast majority of our title companies are using encrypted emails. And where you, in a sense, you have to create an account with the title company, and that's how you're going to send emails, and that's how you're going to receive emails. It allows them to protect that stuff more easily, and so that's something too. Where if you are comfortable, maybe giving out some sensitive information, maybe inquire to see if who you're sending it to, if they do have an encrypted email server to where it is a little bit more protected.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you talked about a few minutes ago about the title company. I had a transaction last year where my client was paying cash, and he, rather than calling the title company, he said, Jason, I'm going to call you. He knows my title company's in the same building as me. He said, Jason, I'm going to call you. I want you to walk down to Lori Joe, the title agent, but then put me on speakerphone, and then I'll give her my wire instructions. And it was, I said, oh yeah, absolutely. But that was an additional step. And I thought, well, that's really smart. Especially the amount that he was sending. I understand the additional caution, but so you just have to, you have to take an extra step. It's better to be a little more careful than be really sorry. So,
yeah, like you said, it's not an easy fix. No. We're kind of joking about the Amazon or the Visa gift cards. Okay, you might be out a couple $100 or $500. But that's kind of where it ends, because in a sense you gave them the gift card information to where then they can take it, they can clear take the balance or spend the balance, whatever it might be, and they can kind of move on. You lose a credit card number. I don't know how that even happens. It seems like it must be more of like through a company that you're buying something from, and then they end up getting hacked. Like, I don't understand how, like, it just happens so often during the holidays when we are buying stuff more online, and it seems like that's when you're almost guaranteed that we're going to get that email or message from our financial institute saying, hey, did you buy $400 of dog food in Los Angeles today? It's like, well, no, I did. I don't live in Los Angeles. I'm pretty far away from it. And then they're like, okay, we'll get this. We'll cancel this transaction. We'll reimburse you. Thank you for helping out. But when you're talking about somebody who maybe steals your identity and then goes and buys cars, maybe buys a house, right. Takes out a home loan, years to get that stuff fixed. So here's one. It may feel a little annoying, but make sure you keep all of your software, your browsers, apps, and programs up to date. One of the reasons why, you have these requests to update these things is because that entity has found that maybe there was a hole in their security, and that is what the update is to fix something that they felt that is now, jeopardizing their security, and that not, they're likely to be hacked. So if you don't download the update for your cell phone or for your laptop or your computer or whatever it might be, you may be setting yourself up for this really, unique hacking device that type of industry has kind of created here in the recent days, and so make sure you're updating that stuff. Even if you felt like you did it yesterday, and they're saying, "Hey, we need you to do it again," just get the stuff updated. You'll be happy that you do. So some of those are really good. Best practices, when it comes to data privacy. We do so much online now. We send so many documents, email, like you said, Jason, a lot of the e-signature vendors that we have out there. You just got to be careful. You got to be smart, especially when you're doing a real estate transaction. As we've always said in a real estate transaction, likely to be your largest financial purchase or your largest financial sale of your life. So we're talking big dollars, and if you run into some problems like being hacked and losing your identity, big dollars, big problems.
Yeah, a few other things to add to that, Marcus. Using two-factor authentication is a great way to help protect yourself. You've seen that more and more. I'm seeing it more and more done automatically with some of the online companies that we work with or that we purchase services or goods from. Encrypt your device. So whether that's your computer or your cell phone, that you do have the ability to encrypt it. So that's one of the recommendations. Here's a good one that I'm definitely guilty of not paying a great amount of attention to this. And watch the apps that you download. Because I think we're all pretty aware of, okay, attachments and links, but we got to watch the apps that we're downloading. So think about it. When you download an app, usually when I'm downloading an app, it's coming from a company that I'm already doing business with or whatever the case is. But when you download an app, it gives you, a 157 page document that goes all the way to the bottom and says, click here to agree. What are you agreeing to, right? And if you don't trust the company, or you don't know the app, or you don't know the company, you gotta be careful for that. So watch the apps that you download. And then the last one that I have to just mention is you got to back up your data. You got to back up your data and everything that's on your computer and your cell phone, because our cell phones are basically our mini computers that are in our pockets all the time. This is something that I've been doing. It's a company called Carbonite. So they do a full computer hard drive, everything backup every single day. And guess what? Last year I had to bring my computer in to, I'm not even going to mention the company's name, but I'll never bring it there again. Brought it in there. It was supposed to be an easy, I think Evan, I told you about this, an easy Windows upgrade, just systems, I didn't tell you about it. Did I tell you about it?
Oh, you told me about it. I'm just shaking my head.
Oh, good grief. Easy, right? So I went in.
Sure.
At least easy in my mind. So I went in, went back the next day to pick it up, and all my docs were gone.
Oh, no.
Over 20 years of real estate docs gone. And I'm like, where's my docs? Oh, well, they should be in there. And I said, well, I know they should be in there. They're not in there. And they said, well, they got to be in there. We don't erase anything. And I said, well, they're not in there. So, look into it, and, well, you want to leave your computer here? Nope, I don't want to leave my computer anymore. So I took my computer. Well, they erased it. All of it.
Oh, man.
Gone. Now, thankfully, I had run it through Carbonite the day before, so I had everything. So I was able to I didn't lose anything, but
You did. You had it backed up.
Correct. You're exactly right. I did. I lost it all. 20 years of documents, of Word docs, business Word docs, and so the amount of stress that would have given me if I didn't have a backup is it's unexplainable. Let's just put it that way. So back up your data. It's super easy. It's super affordable. That way, if your computer crashes things happen all the time. People drop their computer. I think Overson, his computer's crashed a couple times, gone.
Like literally, or crash on the ground.
That's still up for debate. but it's your Outlook and your contacts and data backup is important. And again, it's easy. It's really affordable. Gives you a peace of mind so that you don't have to have the Armageddon of data loss on your work computer, or personal computer.
A lot of the big tech companies, they got cloud services, in terms, to your point, Jason, where you don't have to drive across town to bring your computer to get it backed up. You just, in a sense, a lot of these companies offer cloud services to where they're just going to back up your entire computer onto their cloud, and then they have, in a sense, they have that digital copy up in their cloud, and you'll be good there. But last one I'm gonna leave you guys with here, and this is something because like you said, we have our little mini computers, we have these phones, and they're exceptional. They're just so amazing what our smartphones can do, and the camera technology, the software, everything. It's just remarkable what these smartphones can do. And one thing just to kind of keep in mind is that, back in the day, they didn't really tell you like the privacy, and they didn't really tell you they're collecting your data. You can go into your settings and you can choose what you're going to share. Whether you want to share your location, the geolocation tags, that can be something that's very important. I mean, if you want to not allow people to see where you're at, physically, you can go into these settings and you can make these changes. So just take the time, read the manuals of our smartphones, figure out where the privacy section is, spend that hour or two kind of learning, what kind of options you have. We get the options now. We're back in the day, it was just kind of like, here's your 150-page privacy. Click at the bottom to start, so your smartphone can turn on or your computer can turn on, and that was it. Now it's like, hey, you have options. Let us know if you want to change your privacy. You can have it now. Here's some recommendations. Here's an explanation of what it is. So get in that settings and make sure you have an understanding of what's going on, and start disabling the things that you don't feel comfortable with, and those geolocation tags is one of those things that you might want to just turn off if you don't really like people tracking where you're at.
Yep.
As always, guys, it is an absolute pleasure that you guys come on and watch our show. We want to thank you all for taking your time to tune in live and to support us at US Home Talk. You guys can find our show on ushometalk.com, ushometalk.com, and our past shows as well, or wherever you guys find your podcasts. This is Marcus Walgrave, Jason Walgrave, and we hope you guys have a blessed week.